Hi everyone. If you've been struggling to find a job, you're feeling burnt out, or need some help, I hope you'll find value in this episode. 10 tips on getting a job. If life wasn't challenging enough already, the pandemic has thrown a spanner into our lives, and I think we can be better together by supporting each other through life's challenges and opportunities. Here's 10 actions and tips to help you along your journey. Let's dive straight into it. The very first action is mentally preparing yourself to get a new job. Some of you will be highly energized and ready to go, and for others it may be a mental game. Do something that energizes you and inspires you to act. This might be as simple as listening to an upbeat song, having a shower, getting fresh air outside, light exercises that raises your heart rate, and silencing the inner critic and reminding yourself you can do this. If you have a tendency to overthink things, a simple technique I learnt is to count to 5 and commit myself to the next obvious step that I can take that moves me closer to the goal. The second action is to start searching for jobs and networking. Searching for jobs can be like a treasure hunt. There's hidden jobs out there, however it's not always in obvious places such as job listings and company websites. It's a fact that many jobs actually aren't advertised at all. Some sources report that this figure can be up to 60%. Make it your mission to uncover hidden jobs and don't be disheartened. There's a job out there wanting to be found. Ask around in your networks, including family, friends, ex-colleagues and acquaintances, or staff working at the companies you're interested in. You'll be surprised perhaps what might come up. This is a good time to update your reference contacts. Kindly ask for their support and keep them informed along your job search so they can be prepared to support you. The next step is to shortlist roles to target. Personally, I try and keep this to 3 to 5 initially. I would recommend having high quality applications that hit the mark, rather than trying to appeal to every opportunity. Think quality over quantity here. It's very easy to burn out this way, and seeing plenty of rejection letters can be demoralizing. I would recommend tracking all opportunities in the spreadsheet, including the company, job title, the date you applied, and the status of your application. Action 4 is to tailor the resume to the job and be attentive to details. The purpose of the resume is to help you get through to the next immediate stage of the job hunting process and to an interview. You'll need to update your resume and ensure that you tailor each resume to the job you're applying for. If you've applied for 5 jobs, you should have a standard resume that you just need to tweak each time, then create 5 tailored resumes. The resume needs to make an impact quickly. Recruiters on average only spend about 7 seconds skimming each resume. Ensure keywords relevant to the industry, role, and skills required are included. Ensure your document is formatted consistently. That means checking that dot points are aligned, there are no spelling mistakes, and standard fonts are used or it may not look as intended to the recruiter. The advice on page length typically varies between 1 to 2 pages, however certain cultures, industries, or roles can have different expectations. Action 5 is to write a cover letter, aiming to make an impact. A cover letter is often forgotten about, and it's an important personal touch. Write a new cover letter for each job that you're applying for. Aim to make that impact. Think about what you can do for the company and not what it can do for you. Include the name of the company, the job title, otherwise it looks like a generic cover letter that has been produced for the masses. Action 6 is to follow the job application process and be attentive to that instruction. Certain jobs will have certain application processes such as graduate roles. Make it as easy as possible for those involved in recruiting to progress your application by answering all the questions, including all the attachments. Forgetting to attach your resume or cover letter shows a lack of attention to detail. Next comes the elevator pitch. It should be short enough to present during an elevator ride and helps you to be ready to answer the question, so tell me about yourself. The pitch should cover who you are, what you do, and what you want to achieve. You might receive this question during a phone screening, it could be on a video call, or while you're out and about in person, or perhaps during the interview. Action 8 is to prepare for the interview process and to do your homework. The process of interviewing typically ranges from 1 to 3 rounds of interviews. It could occur all on the same day or over multiple days. The more comfortable you are in practicing interviews over the phone, over video, and in person, the better off you'll be. My advice in preparing for the interview process is to do your homework. This means learning about the industry, the company, the role, and the hiring manager if known. Come prepared with a range of past experiences that you can share at the interview as well. A useful framework is the STAR technique. It stands for situation, task, action, and result. When it comes to the situation, set the scene and give necessary details of your example. For the task, describe what your responsibility was in that situation. For the action, explain exactly what steps you took to address it. And finally, for the result, share what outcomes your actions achieved. Action 9 is following up for an outcome if required. During the application process, if you haven't heard of any outcomes in, say, a week, it's appropriate to follow up with a phone call or email. Be sure to check the application process itself to see if there are any instructions on following up. While it can be disheartening not hearing of an outcome, be pleasant in your follow-up. It shows your maturity and ongoing interest. And finally, for Action 10, accept the outcome and move on. When you finally hear of the main outcomes, it might possibly be that the job was withdrawn, you might be successful or unsuccessful. Dealing with an unsuccessful application can be disappointing, more so if you take it personally. And it's hard not to. Most applicants will receive the same outcome and won't send a response, however. If you do respond, you'll stand out amongst the applicants who weren't selected. Be polite, gracious, and ask for feedback. Thank them sincerely for their time, and it will reflect extremely well on you, and it may actually turn a negative experience into a positive one. The following scenarios could actually occur also. Number 1, the applicant who was hired decides not to follow through with taking the position. Number 2, the applicant starts the new job but leaves shortly after. And number 3, the employer recommends you for another position. When you accept the outcome, take your learnings and leave behind any ill feelings you may have so that this doesn't impact you when it comes to how you show up for your next application. If you're wondering what these life points are, I'll be introducing the concept of life points in my videos as a way to help you build momentum against your goals. You can use this in a few ways, such as keeping score of how many points you've achieved per application. The more points you score per application, the more likely you are to be progressing deep into the hiring process to improve the likelihood of securing a job. Feel free to share how many life points you've accumulated for a job application in the comments below, and I'm sure this will be helpful for others. If you've used this info to apply for a job, I'd love to hear about how your job search is going, and thanks again for listening. Please subscribe to this channel, The Sum of Our Lives, for more videos on topics that can improve your personal circumstances and to help others on their journey.